Imagine a world where you are part of a community that sees you for all that you bring and propels you to become your very best self. A world where everyone is valued for what they bring and everyone gets the support they need. Savor Exchange brings this dream to reality by empowering individuals, communities, and organizations with the right tools and resources to change the world. We do this by organizing people near and far around a goal or project and bringing them together and measuring their success. Our data analytical reports will provide information to support transparency and critical needs in today's world. The SaverX app acts as a secure bridge to multiple communities, including those defined by you, and allows everyone within their community to contribute time through service and request help for themselves. Members can also donate service credits, money, or goods back to their community. Go to www.saverxapp.com to learn more and start your Saver community today.
This program has been sponsored by Seva Exchange. And to make up, even though my topic is about 6 topics that can help you be happy every day, I would like to give you one more bonus, which is 7 purposeful actions that can help you be happy every day, moving from stressful state to happiness state. And then let's figure out what they are. Stress is daily part of our life, right? So we're always stressed. We're always in a state of anxiety, maybe because of this pandemic adding more to our tensions, and being at home working both our work managing our both our work and home and family kids. There's a lot of inherent stress that's building up, and oftentimes due to the pressures and not being able to handle it in a day-to-day situations, there's oftentimes we go through a lot of worries, disappointments, heartbreaks, conflicts, adding more stress to the day-to-day living. So when this is part of our life, then there is another anxiety that's getting more piled up, increasing cases of COVID, the neighbors or the community getting into red zones, or grief, losses of loved ones. All these add considerable pain. If this is the day-to-day living, how are we gonna move ourselves from stressful living to a happier living? That's what we would want to understand. What are the key principles of happiness that would help us juggle this day-to-day life in a more empowering, more healthier and happier manner? The first thing, as you always know, is to get self-aware about how am I feeling right now. Why is it important? When I have no rich vocabulary about my emotions on how am I feeling right now, I have no way to make it better. I don't have access to how this conflict, how the situation, how this person is adding more to my distress, and how what can I do about it in a more empowering way, healthier way than adding more distress to my life. So the more I know that this kind of conversations are my triggers, this kind of situation is triggering my um, anger, or my fears, or my sadness, or these are elevating my anxieties, or this kind of conversations are belittling my needs. Because of that, I'm going into more and more painful situations or painful experiences. Then I know that okay, this is what is happening. This is I have tools to manage myself. I better be prepared to whenever I have this kind of occurrence. What can I do to manage it better? Certain things could be blaming, guilt tripping, bottling down of our emotions, or um, playing the victim card, or venting out, shouting, yelling, or silent treatment, passive aggression. All these are all the different ways people always do, which are all not so healthy ways of coping. It doesn't either help you solve the problem, neither it helps you be present to what's happening. And that's the reason we choose to help us understand what is my current emotion, what's my current feeling, what's my intensity, what's the trigger, what's causing this distress or distress. Then I know, okay, so if that's the situation, what can I do to manage it better? So, is it solving a problem, going into a route, conversing, communicating, expressing my needs, or probably politely moving away from that situation or setting healthy boundaries? There's so many things I can do once I know this is what is causing me pain or this is what is causing me distress. So the first step to help us move to a happier you is always to understand how you're feeling right now. And the next is gratitude. We're so much into our head, right? So from morning till evening, we have obtained number of tasks, obtained number of things that's always causing us um, a lot of stress, a lot of strain. And in this competitive world where everything is materialistic, everything is judged by your position, your status, your money, your finance, your net worth, how do we stop ourselves from constant mode of comparison? How do we always stop ourselves not to focus on things that we don't have, but rather focus on things which we have? What is the key to that? Is gratitude. When I learn to express my needs, express my life, or view my life through a sense of with a sense of gratitude, a sense of appreciation, I sit back and notice what is good in my life instead of constantly or comparing my life with another person or always looking what's not good in me. I start to look what's good in this situation. What am I learning? What is this experience teaching me? And then can I bring myself to feel grateful about it um, instead of feeling belittled or feeling victimized or feeling helpless about the situation. Say I have a conflict with my spouse in personal relations. Instead of feeling, it's very difficult, right? When we are having conflicts, it's very difficult to look at that person from feelings of love and connection. So, how do I transform that relation? So, how about I start looking, there's a conflict, we understand, and we were not able to arrive at a win-win solution at the end of the conflict. Let's look into that at a later point of time. But for the sense of establishing the love and connection, which is always is our deeper desire inside, how do I do that? So how about we start expressing gratitude for the person? What is that I can feel grateful for my spouse? What are the things I appreciate about that person? What kind of things does he bring into my life to enrich my? What are his contribution, his or her contributions? What is that he or she do to make myself more secure, more safe? We could think of upteen number of ways to feel grateful, though there is conflict. And we are talking about situation where there are conflicts and difficult relations. Even without difficult relations, if I'm constantly in a mode of gratitude, that relation transforms because I don't take any person's activities granted. I have a sense of appreciation for the constant things others do for me in my life. And when I look them with a sense of belongingness, with a sense of appreciation, the way the body language, the way I communicate, the way I have the affinity towards speaking with that person is always filled with joy, love, with connection, with lot of light and love and happiness that the other person can also feel, right? So that's how the relation transforms. Take the instance of gratitude into health. Instead of always thinking my body is not this, I can't do this, I have knee pains, I have this, I have that. How about we looking at a lens of gratitude on what our body does for us? I'm able to eat because of my teeth. No matter what, I have good teeth, bad teeth. They are very stylish teeth, aesthetically nice teeth by nature, or no, doesn't matter. I'm able to eat or not. That is what it matters to. It all boils down to appreciating the the contribution each of these organs do for us in our day-to-day life. Imagine a, imagine a person who doesn't have hands, legs, or he's not mentally stable, or um, he doesn't have a healthy heart. So there's so many people who don't have things, and we are blessed to have certain things in our life. So instead of always thinking what's not there with us and feeling low about it, how about we appreciate that what the body can do for us is what the body can contribute into our living. Maybe because of this body I'm able to make a difference in the world. Because of this body, I'm able to move, I'm able to speak, I'm able to make connections, I'm able to earn. There's a lot of things I'm able to do because of whatsoever this body is today at this moment of time. And instead of thinking about, what is not there, how about what did this me being this teach me? For instance, I have a uh, say for example, I have a headache, a migraine headache. Instead of saying why would I get migraine, why should I get migraine, why is my body not cooperating? So this is what is the mental chatter we always have in terms of self-sabotaging ourselves, right? Instead of that, we could also think, okay, probably this is a warning sign that my body is trying to tell me something is not right, something is not working well. So what can I do about it? What are my triggers? How do I get that sensation, that awareness with my body? How do I maintain this relationship with my own body and self, that I know what's acceptable and what's not acceptable for me? What all can I do? So that's where the magic happens, where I start being in sync with my body, treat my body with more love, care, give them the enough nutrition, diet, sleep, rest required. So that's where I become better. So when I look anything from the lens of gratitude, automatically that area transforms because I start appreciating more and more. And if you look at from the law of secret or manifestation, what you are thankful, you see more of them happening in your life. So that's one of the second principle of happiness. Always look at life from the lens of gratitude. And as they say, when you are very thankful, you're more content, you're less materialistic, you're more empathetic because you are looking at other people's contribution. And when you're looking at their contributions with genuine appreciation, if they make some small mistakes or they're also humans, right? So our empathy increases, so we are able to forgive them, we are able to deeply understand them, listen to them, not just like a lip service, but when you're apologizing, we are really meaning the apology. So connections are more authentic. And then because we feel, whenever we have a sense of gratitude towards certain things, it automatically reduces our stress. We are able to feel more safe, secure, and also by expressing gratitude, there is also your spirituality that's getting deepening. So uh, having gratitude has innumerable of advantages. I'm sure there's more deeper sessions happening on the same platform on gratitude alone. So I don't want to stress upon this only concept, but please think that this is one simple anecdote. It's like two sides of the coin. When there is gratitude, there's no room for sorrow or lack or insufficiency or not good enough kind of things. So always start looking every single thing, especially things that's not working right now for you, from the lens of gratitude. See what the situation is trying to teach you, learn from it, express a gratitude for the lessons, for the teachings, for the blessings you already have, for the contributions you're receiving, for people in your life who's been in your life, who's making your life much beautiful, much better. Instead of taking it granted, try to see it from a lens of gratitude. And the third one, self-love. We always love others, right? The love is a fundamental form of humans. But if there is a mistake, we're very, very appreciative, or we are very, very relaxed about others' mistakes. We go far beyond when we know our friend, loved ones are in distress. We try to give them a lot of strength by our words, actions, support. But the same thing happens with us. How much are we in a place to give the same kind of relaxed love, kind, compassionate support to our own self, for our own mistakes, for our own mm, failures, for our own disappointments? How much are we able to do? Not much, not many, not often. We are plagued by a syndrome of perfection, which is, by the way, overrated, right? There's no stand for perfection. Every time there's a beautiful art and someone draws better, it becomes more perfect. So though we know perfection is overrated, everyone strives to be perfect because that's what societal demands are to. So there's a societal demand that says you need to act this way, you need to behave this way. This is what is the epitome of success. So we all want to fall in line with that. Sometimes having a fear of missing out syndrome to inside of that. So often we deprive ourselves the love and care we require, we need, in terms of maybe giving maybe the sufficient care we want, in terms of how you see yourself to be, in terms of what is the self-talk you have when you look at yourself in the mirror. Are you able to love yourself, the reflection of yours? Or how are you trying to talk about yourself, your sufficiencies? Are you able to accept it completely? Because this is you. That unique small mistakes or small quirks or small places, emotional triggers, whatever are that comprises you. And this is one of the very fundamental aspects which I speak in most of the conferences. we are all we do have constant comparisons with someone else. If you look at Facebook, there's 1,000 likes to someone else. So why am I getting 5 likes but another person is getting 1,000 likes? When you go to somebody's house, we have comparison on how that person's house is better than mine, or whatever their house equipments are, aesthetically how they are designed is all better than mine. If I look at work, I have comparison. If I look at money, I have a comparison. So I'm in a constant mode of comparison everywhere. And when I'm constantly in this mode of comparison, what am I indirectly telling myself? That I'm not good. I'm not good enough. So where is this concept of acceptance? And when there is no acceptance, how am I gonna be happy? Because this is me, right? And this is always me. I need to be very secure with who I am at the fundamental concept. So if I'm not that, how am I gonna be happier in life? So when we look at ourselves, when we take ourselves that time, then we can offer the same kind of compassion, same amount of kindness, same amount of being okay with others' imperfections. If we can bring the same kind of sensibilities to our own self, I think our life will be more richer, more happier, more secure. Because I know I may not have the same amount of money the other person have, but I'm very grateful for what I am, and I'm only looking my own journey. So, as I was said, always there's a constant urge to compare uh, two people, right? Along with this, there's this apple, there's an orange, so you can compare it because these two are different in shape, size, everywhere. But just because you and the other person is working in the same corporation or organization or class or community, we both are two different people. And the law of symmetry talks about comparison. So when you are an equilateral triangle, you can compare an equilateral triangle with an equilateral triangle. You can't compare an equilateral triangle with a scalene triangle, even though they are of the triangle as the same object. So the similar way, even though you are of same organization, same community, or human or a race, it doesn't. You are unique in your own way. You are not he and you or she and you are not same. So it doesn't when the properties of the person is not same, it doesn't give room for comparison. So how are we comparing? On what basis are we comparing with each other? When you are an equilateral triangle and the person is a scalene triangle, how do we make ourselves compare with each other? It's not worth. So that's where the self-love come into place. The next important aspect, which I'm sure everyone of us talk about, is health. So, what are we doing about our health, especially during this pandemic? We have got multiple reasons on why we shouldn't. We don't have time. The workout is really strenuous. There's so many things. But when we are healthy, is where we are happier, right? More than health, what are our behaviors that's giving us driving health? Probably is our diet and nutrition well? Is our sleep enough, adequate? Are we drinking enough water? Are we resting ourselves when we feel the first ounce of tiredness, or are we giving enough time to ourselves? These are also aspects of health. I'm not saying only the workout. The physical exercise for 30 minutes have immense value in terms of um, what it benefits it can bring to your life. But even these aspects, which are mostly on how you take care of your physical body, your appearance, your diet, nutrition, sleep, these are all important aspects which needs to be taken. So when you exercise, you have happy hormones released that can help you again get into better, um, happier states. So in spite of your busy schedules, please at least make 30 minutes of your time for everyday regular exercise, whichever means you enjoy the most, and drink enough water. It's not what how much you eat, but what you eat. What is the quality of content you eat? What is the aspect which brings you a lot of nutrition that your body requires? Are you resting enough? There's a limit to push yourself to, right? So are we in a place where I can strongly say no, this is something I need to take rest, and take rest when your body is saying so? Or drinking adequate water, as I said, and not drinking more sodas, and drinking alcohol to a permittable levels, and having self control not to go beyond the acceptable levels of alcohol, and then not to drink, not to smoke, or take substance as a means to handle stress. um, if you ask me, you shouldn't at all take. But since it is not possible for most of the people, at least try to see how much you are able to reduce, cut down in some small samples, small goals, so that at some point of time you are totally substance free, because end of the day they're toxins, right? So all these small aspects do add a lot of happiness to your life. Another thing which I'm talking about is about how much you can let go. Everyone, it's a common thing to err. It's a common thing. We humans are bound to make mistakes, consciously, unconsciously, knowingly, unknowingly. But when we have conflicts, when someone betrays us, someone hurt us, someone pains us, we are in this constant mode of grudge, or holding on to those hurtful moments. We are replaying it continuously in our head, saying, no, this is something which I've been victimized, I have been hurt. So I should make sure the other person's life is also, I give him back as much as good I get. So with this kind of the mentality, what we are continuously doing is we are reliving that pain again and again, and that adds more to our pain. So instead of that, can we bring forth feelings of forgiveness, acceptance to that person? Yeah, he has done wrong. It doesn't mean he has done good. But at least are we ready to let go of that pain? Break away from that clutches of that emotional pain you're holding on to so dearly. That way freeing ourselves from all the burdens we have been unknowingly holding. This is what is required uh, to experience liberation, to experience happiness in terms of that person. And not only that, when you can let go of a person with whom you had a clear conflict, or forgive him or her for his mistakes, or whatever else you think he has done unknowingly, knowingly, you're being a better person, because you're extending a hand for love, connection, knowing. I'm not saying uh, even though you have done it, you are asking him to uh, you're asking him to, sorry, I had a call. So I'm not saying when you forgive someone, the other person was right or you were wrong, or when you apologize someone when you think the other person has you have hurted someone. I'm not saying who made the mistake here. I'm only saying, can we be the better person? Can we let our pride overtake our humility and need for connection and love? And then what we do when we know that we have got betrayed once? Can we bring our processes in place on what is the learning when someone betrays us and someone um, hurt us? What is that that's not in place that this thing has happened? Can I bring forth those things so that maybe next time I'm more judicious in offering my trust to the other person? Or what would have happened that the other person did this? So these small things, looking from a view of empathy towards that person, can help us forgive that person and bring forth the need for more authentic, more connected relations in our life, and discard all the debris, all the garbage we have been unknowingly holding, which is really heavy and traumatic sometimes. So, irrespective of the other person has done some good or not good, can we bring forth these feelings of forgiveness to that person just to make ourselves feel lighter? Because we worth it, right? We deserve to be happy. We deserve to be um, guilt free. We deserve to be shame free. We deserve to be light, you know, light at heart. So when that's what we deserve, why should we hold all these burdens? It's fine. He has done something. She has done something. Can we just let go and be okay with it and see what learning we had from it? What did I learn? What did I grow? How did I grow from this experience? Can I be thankful for that experience? Oh, yeah, maybe because of this, I'm being more careful now with friends. I'm being more careful not to lend money. I'm being more careful. Oh, yeah, because he has hurt me, I understood. These are my needs that can often trigger feelings of anger. So when I'm knowing myself more and more in a more better way, more intimate way, I know what to do. I know whether the whatever I did, when I can err, others can also err, right? So I can look myself from an objective view and offer myself a permission to forgive myself and others as well. I can be open to ask for forgiveness. I can ask for apology when I know someone I have hurt. We take asking for forgiveness or apology is something which will hurt our pride. But when we can prioritize our relations, the person before our pride, is when we establish deeper connections with that person. After all, what is life without having deeper connections around? We need people to lean up around. We need people to uh, seek support when we are going through pain and distress. So, what's the point in not establishing connections that are more authentic? So, forgiveness and seeking forgiveness, offering forgiveness, it works both ways, gives you the way for that. And the next step, as usual, there are a lot of comedy shows happening. What happens when you look at comedy shows or when you look at sitcoms which are very comedy focused? You instantly feel happier. So, I'm not saying laughter is only a function of you seeing some comedy serials or comedy sitcoms or uh, laughter inducing shows. But how much can I laugh at my own idiosyncrasies? How much can I bring playfulness? I'm not saying playfulness is not being serious, okay? I'm not saying that you are playful. I understand there is a relation between being playful and not being um, efficient on their promises and goals and deadlines. So I'm not saying we shouldn't. All I'm saying is, can we be playful towards our own things instead of having a seriousness towards life, towards the way we look into our life? Is there a way I can be more playful towards how I look my life, how I look my failures, how I look my uh, little things which I am not so good at, or maybe my mistakes or my faults. is there a way I can bring more playfulness towards it, more laughter to it in a more casual way than being so serious, uptight about, as if I don't have room for making mistakes? And should we be in that position? Or bring playfulness more, and it lightens our heart, it lightens our mistakes, it breaks us. We are more human, if not anything. So I would. This is the sixth maybe. And the last one, embrace uncertainties. Life is always about to change. There's a lot of changes that happens every single day. If you see very closely, even your breath changes every single time you breathe. One breath, another breath is always different. So there's always impermanence happening all the time. Even though it looks like the morning, day, and night, they're all different. Even though there's a lot of tides in the ocean, it's always changing. So when everything in around us, seasons change, um, people change. So when everything around us is changing, what's the point in we holding to one thing, one ideology, one way of looking, one point of view? Be okay to try things. Take it as a path of growth, not as a challenge that if I fail, I'm not good. But what if I fail? Can I see it from a sense of what learning I had in this? What can I look for mastery than satisfying other people's needs or seeking approval? Can I have can I put myself into that vulnerable position where I'm okay by being judged? It's okay. It doesn't matter because I put myself there and I know what I am. And I can do these things, I can't do these things. And when I'm things I'm not doing, I'm learning. Instead of me being uh, totally avoiding because I don't want to be vulnerable, at least I'm taking initiative towards things, be it anything, be it doing yoga for the first time, taking up an initiative at work, going into some things which are really uncomfortable, maybe volunteering, talking to new people, networking. Can we try to embrace vulnerability? Can we try to embrace those uncertain moments, go beyond your fear of judging, fear of being judged by others, fear of failing, and embrace what comes with a pinch of playfulness, with a pinch of kindness, compassion towards your own self, as I said, looking at gratitude on what could happen, discarding everything that went wrong as a means of learning. So when we are looking everything from these seven principles, I'm sure life is life is tolerable, even though we are going through a lot of every moment of huggle juggle. We can make it work. We can embrace it with a lot of peace. Uh, at least I'm good for my day because I've taken care of my relations. I've been appreciative of things in my life. I've prioritized my health. I brought playfulness into my life, and also I'm loving myself. I'm loving my whenever there's an urge to compare, I'm I'm being okay to not compare myself. So I'm good. So that concludes my presentation for today. And once again, I hope I have I had shared my small wisdom of pearls with you, and I hope that would be helpful for you all. And once again, thanks, Anita